Well, they did it. They killed fever spiders. Last night, I've been hearing for the past couple of weeks about the hype of the fever spider, and I didn't really think anything of it. And then I made a video on killing Zalra, and everyone said fever spiders are better than Zalra. So that's when I decided I would check it out. And I made a video last night. I think I made about almost 1.5 million GP in an hour from killing these little guys. And I said, you might want to start doing this because I have a feeling this is going to be nerfed. And today they nerfed it. So yeah, there's a lot of other news that we're going to check in today, but I really thought the fever spiders was funny. So I'll throw the old money-making quote thing up on screen. So basically, they killed it. So before, it was like 1 million, 1.4 million, and the maximum efficiency was over 2 million. And now, maximum efficiency here is only 683k. So what they changed is they took away certain drops, replacing it with Limport roots, and then the adamant medium helm and the adamant battle axe instead of rune, so it really just kills the profit here. The one thing that they did leave is the querums, so you could still probably make a decent amount of money here, and if you want them as an Iron Man, but that really does suck. I knew it would happen though. In other news, today they released this blog, Minigame tweaks, skilling adjustments, and more. So we're going to take a quick look at this today. So Project Rebalance skilling tweaks. So it's been a couple of weeks since the first part of Project Rebalance went live, and we're happy with where most of the changes are at. Even so, we have a few more tweaks for you this week. First, an update on expert mining gloves, which has been re-enabled for sandstone, and some minor balancing changes. Initially, players were able to mine a whopping 3 extra sandstone before the rock depleted, which was a little stronger than we intended. That would have been awesome for collecting buckets of sand. As of today's change, they'll be able to mine 1 extra. Sticking with the mining theme, we've also hotfixed a couple of Volcano changes to detect leeching. All players must now deal some armor damage to Volcano regardless of how much health damage they deal over the course of the fight. Additionally, the minimum contribution required has increased. So basically, people are doing this in mass worlds, and you can take it down in like 1 rotation now. A third hotfix applies a delay when re-entering the Brimhaven Agility Dungeon after teleporting out. This prevents players using the Achievement Diary Cape to repeatedly teleport out, re-enter, and tag a pillar close to the entry ladder, resulting in unexpectedly high XP rates. That's insane. I never even would have thought to do something like that. Players are crazy, bro. Last week, we reduced fail rates when pickpocketing paladins, gnomes, and heroes, but many of you still feel they don't hit the mark. Of course, if you fail once, it doesn't hit the mark. This week, we're improving their fail rate even more. Note that XP per hour for these NPCs does scale drastically with your thieving level. Paladins, for example, ramp up from 90k XP per hour at level 70 to potentially over 180,000 at 99. Kind of crazy. The same actual training method will go up so much just from a couple of thieving levels. I mean, it's a lot of XP, but just a few levels. Along similar lines, we're walking back a change we made to fever spiders. God damn, their loot table last week, which turned them into a powerful, risk-free AFK moneymaker. That's another kind of spider altogether. So we've taken things down a notch by replacing the rune medium helm and battle axe with their adamant equivalents and swapping the water battle staffs for limport roots. Ah, that's so sad. We remain open to farther changes following your feedback. The thing that's really funny, though, is they wanted to make fever spiders a creature worth killing, and I guess still 600k an hour isn't bad, but that was maximum efficiency, right? What was it, like 300k or something without that? But now it's like I could probably go there and there wouldn't be anyone there. Maybe there'd be some confused people there, but yeah, last night I was hopping 10-15 worlds just to find one, so it's kind of interesting. So to round us off, we have 2 tiny tweaks, corrected messages that players when the ore sack at Motherlode Mine is full. Oh, so they corrected the messaging. Okay. Infreti's aid now correctly interacts with tier 1 and 2 vampires instead of reducing damage dealt to them. Is that a spell or like some? I'm not even sure what that is. Mini game improvements. All right, so today's update also brings a selection of quality of life changes to minigames all over Gielinor. So various skilling actions in Trouble Brewing now provide XP for the associated skill. You didn't get any XP there before. Maybe I'm wrong. I've never done this, maybe once, like per EOC. So capturing a monkey awards 15 agility and 15 hunter. Increasing the boiler pressure awards 80 strength. Lighting logs in the broiler now awards 320 fire making XP, up from 40 provided when adding logs to the boiler. That's pretty huge. Obtaining a bitter nut awards 160 hunter. Depositing a bitter nut into the hopper awards 640 cooking. Obtaining scrappy tree bark from logs now awards 160 fletching. Depositing scrapey tree bark into the hopper also awards 320 cooking. That's a very weird one. You'd think that'd be like fire making or something. Obtaining sweet grubs awards 160 hunter. Depositing sweet grubs into the hopper awards 320 cooking. Adding your team's colored water to the hopper awards 320 cooking experience. Figuring out how any of this results in rum earns you the gratitude of the entire community management team. Okay. Some of these numbers seem huge. I've never really played this minigame, so maybe this is like a rare occurrence or something, but for things that didn't give XP before, and it's just a little bit here and there, it helps out. You know, I'm a fan of it. The reward currency from Trouble Brewing, pieces of 8 have been converted into variable stored on your account rather than a physical item. Okay, so it's like, that's like some EOC shit right there, right? I guess they could be like bonds, maybe. This brings them in line with other minigame currencies. Okay, so it's just like in the shop. That makes sense. Okay. Added a new classic free-to-play option to the magic dropdown while setting up Clan Wars game. This setting makes it so that bind is the only free spell available in the game with this setting enabled. Fully grown plants in Tithe Farm will no longer decay. What? That is huge right here. If you've ever played Tithe Farm. So wait, can you think about this? You could just plant like all 12, 14 rows or whatever are there, and then just harvest them. No way. That's actually huge. I gotta go to Tithe Farm. I need the seeds anyway, so I might actually go check that out. Damn. Okay, I love that. Tears of Guthix will now show your personal best while you're collecting tears. The Guardians of the Rift entry barrier has received some visual updates. It should be more red when you're unable to enter the minigame. And we've added a new red eye option variant for scenarios where the player count has reached 200 but the game has not started. It's worth noting that our next quality of life poll will see us focus on more significant changes to some minigames / activities, including Wintertodt and the Guardians of the Rift. Alright, so some other changes. Just like all good updates, we've also got a scattering of smaller updates spread throughout a variety of content that's not easy to group up with everything else. Up first is the change to the Grand Exchange interface, allowing you to set up your own plus X percentage and minus X percentage buttons when buying or selling for the trader in Serious Rush. You can now use these buttons to enter in any custom amount you'd like to strike the perfect balance between less spam clicking on the 5% button and paying millions of GP for one niche quest item. Right-clicking on the button lets you customize this value at any time. Cool. Next is a change to the Theater of Blood, specifically to how Verzik scales to one remaining player in normal mode Theater of Blood. These changes were initially floated to you alongside Project Rebalance, but have not been worked on by a different team, hence their slightly earlier release. Okay, makes sense. If only one player remains during normal mode Verzik's Phase 2, only one Naklos Metacons, I'm not going to pronounce that, the red one, will spawn, as in hard mode. If only one player remains during normal mode Verzik's Phase 2, the lightning ball damage is capped, as in hard mode. Okay, so I guess it making it a little easier. I haven't really touched Theater of Blood yet, so that's the next raid coming up, maybe a year from now for me. To round us off, here's a list of other tweaks. We're sure your favorite part of today's update is likely to be somewhere in here, as is tradition. Okay, they leave it like kind of secret. A warning message has been added to prevent players from accidentally choosing to release a mature tech salamander. Oh, I guess those are like the expensive ones or like rare ones or something. The troll tunnels leading up to Troll Wisps encountered during the Troll Romance quest have been restored to a single-way combat. This is to correct an error in a recent update where they'd accidentally been made multi-combat. Okay, the Staff of the Dead special attack effect is now cleared when using a rejuvenation pool inside your player-owned house. A new option has been added to the settings menu that allows you to pick your hit sounds. This is the sound that your character makes when they get hit by an enemy. So there's different sounds now. Elven teleport crystals now have a toggle option when right-clicked, which will allow you to set your left-click teleport to either Ellinia or Prifddinas. Awesome. Worms have had their animations adjusted to make them more accessible for players who are at a risk of seizures. Jesus, I didn't even think of that. I guess they were kind of crazy, the lights and stuff. Fixed a bug where it was possible to skip Vedi on second phase. Yeah, I guess for people camping that's the one that they were looking out for. Well, I guess if you like whatever that minigame's called, Trouble Brewing, maybe this is a huge update for you. Maybe if you want to do some more tithe farm, if you want to just grow them all and harvest a shit ton at once, that might be a really cool option for you too. Don't really know how much better that would be, like XP wise. Not really, because you still have to get it to the end phase. But you know, it's kind of cool. A lot of these little fixes are always good for the game, right? Maybe the Grand Exchange one's huge for some players as well, but the real big part of today, anyways, for me, was the fever spiders, right? I just released that video and all the comments were like, huh, you're a little late to the game, pal. But I did it last night and scheduled the upload for 10 in the morning, and I guess this update already came out before my video went out, so it's kind of funny how that works sometimes. But I knew it was going to be patched. It was really overpowered. Like it's just insane. This little low-level creature making you as much as Zulrah does in 2024. Kind of insane. And they're all alchables too, right? It couldn't have been ruined unless Jagex fixed it themselves, which they did. But you could still make about whatever it said, 500 or 600k an hour there. So maybe if you're lower level, it could still be a viable option. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video. I will catch you in the next one. See ya later.